What's up, everybody? This is KJ, and I am here to give you my ISL Week 4 team builder. We are playing Pokecraft, and this is actually the ISL Week 4 game of the week. Uh, if you are not aware, a good friend of mine, Rick, is actually making videos for all of the game of the week, the previews, and so I'm going to link that in the description, but check that out. Check Rick's content out. He's a great content creator. Like I said, good buddy of mine, so really appreciate showing him some love as well. But yeah, back to the match. So hopefully we do better than we have in the past with the game of the weeks. I don't think so I've done fairly well in ISL in general. Like I made playoffs both seasons. But I don't think I've ever won a game of the week. I'm pretty sure I'm at least 0-2 in games of the week, and I think, funny enough, I think I've lost both game of the weeks that I was into iLaser Guy. So that's kind of funny. Things go full circle from week 1 of the season, but yeah. So hopefully I'm gonna get some better success, or well, I'll have some better success in this game of the week. But yeah, I want to jump into Pokecraft's team. It's very scary. He's got the Mega Mawile, he's got Garchomp, Raikou, Crobat, Lycanroc, Midday, Machamp, Volbeat, Celebi, Blissey, Dusknoir, and Volcanion. So immediately, Mega Mawile is terrifying. I had to play one in another league that I played yesterday. Another league match that I played yesterday. So run the calcs, it's terrifying. It just takes lives. Be completely honest. But that's only one of his threats. He's got Garchomp, which is incredibly scary. Usually runs physical, but can run special. It's a great Scarfer. It is a great setup sweeper with Swords Dance. Thank goodness it didn't get Dragon Dance in post DLC. That would have been, people would have been rioting. But yeah, so Garchomp, very scary. He's got speed and very good. So, well, let's rephrase that. He's got speed with Raikou and Crobat, as well as a very good sort of mixed attacker with Crobat, because Crobat you can run Nasty Bat, you can run more support Crobat with things like Super Fang. You can also run Crobat very physically. So Crobat's very scary. And then he's got Lycanroc Midday, which is a very good physical attacker, and it got things like Play Rough. It has Swords Dance. It has Close Combat, so a lot of coverage. Machamp, very scary. And then he's got things like Celebi, Dusknoir, Volcanion, which are all like either good support mons or can hit very hard. And then I want to do a special sort of like highlight on his tier 5 that you can see, Volbeat, because we are actually a league that allows baton passing a single stat. So Volbeat gets Tail Glow. Looking at his team, the only thing I think he might pass a Tail Glow into is Crobat or Raikou, or Crobat or Raikou. Volcanion's not typically fast enough to take advantage of that. I guess he could run Scarf and try to take advantage of it that way. But yeah, Volbeat is very scary because of Tail Glow and Baton Pass, and it's Prankster Tail Glow and Baton Pass. That's something to sort of keep an eye on, or keep in the back of your head. So very scary. And then Blissey is incredibly annoying. Everybody knows about Scar and Blissey stall. And with Blissey getting teleport now, it's just, and with Blissey getting teleport and the buffs to teleport, where it's basically a -6 priority pivot, it's just it's really annoying. So let's get into the team that I have created to try to take this on. First off, we got Tapu Koko. So Koko is a physical set this week. We're max speed, just in case he tries to like speed creep with the or just in case he tries to max out the speed in the Crobat and take advantage of us maybe not running max speed. So making sure as fast as possible, hitting hard as we can, close combat, play rough, U-turn, wild charge, just for cover. Like, it covers a lot of his team. like especially with the expert belt, like it's OHKOing a lot, and honestly, Coco, I've found, and I've really liked that Coco can kind of sit in the back and clean up at the end of games. I've got some other sets that I'm sort of cooking up for later matchups, but at least in the earlier matchups, I've seen that Coco has either been something I didn't want to bring or something that just kind of cleans up in the back. So that's got the Coco. We've got the Gallade, and it's Mega Gallade. Ren Justified, because that's just, in my opinion, the better ability. Especially in a situation where we have stuff like Gligar that can switch in on knockoffs for, etc. And again, Gallade's another mon where this spread is fairly standard, or like the set is fairly standard. CC, knockoff, Psycho Cut, Ice Punch. Some people run Zen Headbutt, but in this particular match, we don't need the Zen Headbutt, so we're going with the Psycho Cut. And I know I'm gonna play this match, and Lambo's gonna call me out for not wanting the misses. So I'm ready for it, Lambo. I know it's coming. But yeah, so I think this Gallade is EV'd to outspeed regular Jolly Garchomp. So if he Scarf Chomp, then it is what it is. But that being said, if he Scarf Chomp, then some of the other mons handle Scarf Chomp fairly well. And we've got the Ice Punch for Garchomp. The rest of the bulk we just put in defense just to be able to take some more of the defensive hits a little better. Okay, so next we got the Victini. And this is actually a pretty cool interaction that I wanted to highlight, the V-Create Eject Pack. So it's really, really cool with Eject Pack. It allows you to switch out when your stats are lowered. So we have Eject Pack with V-Create is going to be, like, V-Create drops the speed special attack, and I think is it speed? It might be... Sorry, it's special defense, defense, and speed. There we go. By one stage, and then that will allow Victini to then pivot out into one of the other mons on the team. And so yeah, we are max speed to make sure that we can outspeed his base 100, which is Celebi. We've got the 148 attack, which allows us to OHKO a lot of the mons on his team after rocks, assuming certain amounts of bulk. But after rocks damage, like Bolt Strike is most likely going to be OHKOing the Volcanion. V-Create will be taking care of things like Crobat and Raikou. So yeah, just generally trying to make sure that we can hit things hard, especially after rocks, which you'll see the rock setters after this. But we also have Glaciate tech for the Garchomp. So the idea is if Garchomp switches in, we click Glaciate, and he loses speed in his Garchomp as well. Like his Garchomp will fall one stage in speed, and then it also is doing to non-bulky Garchomp, to like standard offensive Garchomp, is doing 53 to like 63, I think it is. So that's another thing to just keep in mind. And then we have Sub, and so the idea here is that if we're in on Mega Mawile and he expects that he can like Sucker Punch, then we can actually sub up on it, and then we just get a free attack on something. So that's another cool interaction that we got going on. But yeah, we'll see how this works out. Next mon, we got Eviolite Gligar with immunity so that it can't be toxic. And this is a really interesting Gligar. It has Taunt so that it can make sure that it can stop something like Blissey from getting potential Wish Passes, or using something like Heal Bell. It also would stop, for instance, a Baton Pass with the Volbeat. Like, of course, Volbeat will be able to click Tail Glow, but it won't actually be able to Baton Pass it. So that's another thing that's sort of really big. And it also just potentially stops any Trick Room or Will-O-Wisp shenanigans with Dusknoir. And last but not least, it actually is a very good Garchomp counter. So it just eats up hits from Garchomp, max defense. with the minimum investment, minimum attack investment after a Swords Dance, it's a guaranteed OHKO if rocks are up on Mega Mawile with Earthquake. So that's really, really big. The Play Rough from Mega Mawile never kills, which is also another pretty big thing to look out for. And the potential Mega Mawile Ice Punch is a roll to kill. So all in all, this feels pretty good. The plan is we don't want to let him set up a Swords Dance with Mega Maw because that would just be bad. So yeah, I think we just kind of got to try to continue to pressure that and kind of go from there. So, and then Rock Slide is there for things like Crobat, Volcanion comes in, Rock Slide and Earthquake, and Rock Slide also hits Volbeat, so that would be good if we got Volbeat and taunted that. So yeah, generally, this is where we're going. So the next mon, we got the Druddigon. So the Druddigon with Roselia Berry, Rough Skin, it lives a Play Rough from Mega Mawile. It 2-hit KOs with Earthquake. It also is running Taunt to stop things like Blissey, to stop things like Stealth Rocks from Celebi, to stop, again, like the Dusknoir, and all of his things that kind of either have setup or are able to sort of use annoying status moves. So this spread is mostly optimized for bulk, and we got the 60 speed for the no speed Blissey to speed group that. So that's something to make sure we can outspeed to get the taunt off. And then, yeah, the idea here is we're just going to be getting chip and glaring things and hopefully setting up rocks. So Druddigon had some success, and also seeing Druddigon now reminds me I will be adding nicknames to the mons for the actual match, so you'll see that in the post game. I just haven't had a chance to like sit down and think about them, so we'll do that. I know Lambo wanted Frito Dragon for Druddigon, so that might be coming. We'll see. And so the last mon, we got Contrary, Leftover, Superior, running Sub, running Leaf Storm, Leech Seed, and Glare. So the big thing for this Superior is that we want to make sure that we outspeed Lycanroc. And also rocks plus a +2 Leaf Storm actually kill Volcanion, which is one of his major switch-ins to this. I think potentially Mega Maw could come in too, but I'm just kind of going through, and it's like Glare does a pretty good job sort of slowing down a handful of his mons. So double Glare with Druddigon and Serp kind of helped to open things up for Coco and Victini, and even Gallade if I'm getting early game glares and stuff like that. So yeah, so this is the team. Please tune in for the battle. We're playing sometime during the weekend. Yeah, and Game of the Week hype. So we're very, very excited for this. And so I will catch you for the battle. Alright, so we got the game here against Pokecraft. As I mentioned, this is the ISL Week 4 Game of the Week. So we're playing this. We were supposed to play it a little bit earlier in the week, but we ended up having to reschedule a few times. So, yeah, let's just get into this. So, going in, I figured lead Druddigon. If he leads Mawile, we're doing good. And kind of just go from there. So, based on that damage output, I knew immediately that he was Specs. And so I figured I'd be able to handle that, but I wanted to make sure that I got rocks up guaranteed. And luckily here he does go for the Play Rough, and we have the Roselia Berry. We do live on one that was a roll, but it was a roll significantly in our favor. And we do get the Glare off on the Mawile as well, which is very nice. And we just sack the Mawile here. No need to take any other damage. He gets the Rough Skin damage. So we're doing good. We got the Mawile paralyzed and at 35%. So now, Victini, I was expecting a Sucker Punch. So I actually just went and clicked Substitute, which was a scenario that Intago and I did talk about. And it did work when it's in the middle of prep. And so this is great. Like, got rid of one of the biggest threats. And the way they brought Garchomp out, I wasn't sure what the item was, but I'm assuming Scarf here. So goes for the Earthquake, and Serperior eats that up. No problem. He goes for the Blissey, and I was kind of expecting that, so I go for the Glare. So now this thing's at least paralyzed, which is fine. But I expect a switch here. And he does actually go for the Toxic instead. So I expected him to switch into Raikou. That's fine. So he goes into Volcanion, and I was thinking he might stay in on that, but yeah, so alright, here's where things were very bad. So he gets the Steam Eruption, that's fine. I Mega Evolve, and I click Close Combat here just to get some chip. Depending on his investment, I could have killed, but obviously he's very defensive, and he actually kills the Gallade, which is totally fine. We have him at 23%. Now, at this point, I should have just went into Coco. And I'm not sure why I did, but I also knew that Serperior could kill this thing, especially at the range that it was at. And if I got a Leaf Storm off, everything would be great. However, I missed the Leaf Storm. So as soon as that happens, I just go spiraling downward, kind of jump off the deep end. I get hit with a Fire Blast. So not only do I miss the Leaf Storm, he then hits a Fire Blast. So I miss a 90% move, he misses an 85% move. And after that, I kind of just made dumb plays from here on out, which is unfortunate because I went into Gligar. And so in my calcs with the Close Combat, I thought he was slower than me. Come to find out, I wasn't thinking clearly, obviously, and he was actually just max defense instead of max HP bold, which is what I thought the calc was. So now, like, the only way I win this is if I was Scarf Coco, and even then, Scarf Coco can't take out all of the mons that he has there. So, yeah, at this point, if he is Scarf Garchomp, which we expect that he is, he just comes out and just clicks Earthquake. And sure enough, he was Scarf Chomp. In hindsight, again, I should have just went Coco on the Volcanion to begin with. Very, very unfortunate that missed the Leaf Storm and that he hit the Fire Blast. But again, I did not make the optimal play, and that cost me the game and a lot of differential here. So we're moving to now 2-2. I believe we have a +1 differential now. And so that makes next week a huge game, especially with both Scamp and Lambo getting wins and moving up to 4-0 with double-digit differential. So we wanted to keep pace with them, but unfortunately did not. And now I believe Pokecraft moves to 2-2 as well. So yeah, I wish I would have played this better. I hate when I make a stupid mistake, and not only is it bad content, but it's also just like I could have won this game potentially if I would have played better. So again, great game to Pokecraft, great prep. Wish I would have played this one a little bit better, but you know, it happens. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has games where they screw up. Unfortunately, my 2 screw-up games have been back-to-back in this league. So yeah, looking to get back on track next week. And that is it. So if you do enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, and yeah, check out in the description. I'm gonna link out the ISL like week 4 game of the week hype and stuff like that. So yeah, really exciting. Rick is now taking over a team in the ISL, but he will still be doing the ISL weekly like game of the week preview things. So all right, take it easy, everybody. Peace.